Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah and welcome back. In this mini course, we are going to discuss about the do's and don'ts of entrepreneurship from Quranic principles. In the previous video, we have discussed the don'ts, and here we are going to discuss about the do's, what we should be doing to earn the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our entrepreneurship journey. Let's move forward. So the first lesson that we learn from the story of Qarun is wealth and riches are among the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants wealth and riches to whoever He wants. It is not based on someone's knowledge and someone's skills. There are lots of knowledgeable people who were not able to earn that vast amount of wealth. So we should rather seek the blessings of Allah in every acts, in every deeds that we go through, rather than depending or boasting about our knowledge and skills. Definitely we have to be skilled, we have to be knowledgeable, and we have to know the strategies to develop our entrepreneurship. But that is not the only means to our success. The second do's we learn from the story of Qarun is that every Muslim entrepreneur should be mindful of his activities. Through our entrepreneurship, we shouldn't cause any harm to others, to our stakeholders, to animals, to even environment, because causing harm will never grant us the ultimate success. Pause. The outcome or the impact of our entrepreneurship is equally important for a Muslim entrepreneur. Third, a Muslim entrepreneur should always strike a balance between his dunya and akhirah. So, a Muslim entrepreneur should always strike a balance between dunya and akhirah, and he should never be too miserly nor too extravagant in his expenses. Striking a balance can be implied in few options, or in the following. Striking a balance between dunya and akhirah can be implied in few things. For example, he should spend in charity. He should increase spending in charity, such as he should increase his expenses on charity. That means he should be more benevolent and helping others and contributing to the greater good or the Striking a balance between dunya and akhirah can be implied in few things. For example, spending in charity. He can increase his expenses in charity. He can create ventures which causes greater good and greater communal harmony. Striking a balance between dunya and akhirah can be implied in few things. For example, he can increase his expenditure. Striking a balance between dunya and akhirah can be implied in few things. For example, a Muslim entrepreneur can increase his expenditure on charity. He can create ventures which has greater communal goals and greater benefit for everyone. Secondly, he is always mindful about his halal and haram limits, that he does not cross the limits of haram and he does not. Secondly, a Muslim entrepreneur is always mindful about halal and haram, and he does not cross the limits. Even if the haram ventures are more lucrative with greater ROI, he would abstain from these. The next lesson we learn from the story of Qarun is maintaining ihsan, and Allah has commanded Muslim entrepreneurs to do ihsan in this passage. The next lesson we learn from the passage of Qarun is maintaining ihsan, to ensure that we practice ihsan in all our affairs. This can be implied in a number of things. Ihsan in the sense of ensuring common welfare and greater good for everyone, including animals and environment and other stakeholders. At the same time, maintaining a no harm policy for everyone. Secondly, ensuring ihsan in the sense of perfecting the quality and improving every moment so that the customers or the recipients of the services would get better and enhanced services. As a note to ihsan here, we can conclude that being in this passage of Qarun, we find that repeatedly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned about maintaining ihsan, which also implies being responsible in our business practices. And it advocates for. And the next lesson we learn from this passage of Qarun is that we should always be connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our wealth creation journey. Those who once exclaimed at the wealth of Qarun, later when they understood, they acknowledged that wealth is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they felt blessed that they were not punished. They were not among the people of Qarun who were severely punished by the wrath of Allah. Similarly, the verse at the end. The next lesson we learn from this passage of Qarun is that as Muslim entrepreneurs, we should always be connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even from the people who were amazed by the wealth of Qarun, although they exclaimed at his wealth first, when Qarun was punished, they understood and immediately they thanked Allah for being among those who were saved from the punishment of Qarun. At the same passage, we find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions exclusively that wal aqibatu littaqwa, that the end result is always for those who observe taqwa. And observing taqwa, being God conscious, being mindful about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the journey of wealth creation is extremely important, because wealth is always a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I hope we can keep these do's and don'ts in mind whenever we are starting an entrepreneurship or even we are in the journey of our entrepreneurship. And inshallah, we hope we can keep these do's and don'ts in mind in our entrepreneurship. We hope we can keep these Quranic principles in mind during our entrepreneurship journey, and we can similarly be blessed by the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And let us know how better we can improve our. And let us know what you've learned from this mini course. And if you want to know more about the Quranic principles of entrepreneurship, stay with us. And if you want to know more about the Quranic entrepreneurship, stay connected with us. We're coming up with more videos like this, inshallah. Until then, stay safe, stay blessed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.